is going to be Gunsmith and like Create-A-Class, which this is the big part that I was like recording on the last video, and they ended up changing a lot of the stuff in Cold War, and they actually ended up changing stuff that I said in the last video, so that's why I'm re-recording it. But I think, so like, what I'm saying is, in Cold War, individual attachments, I was saying they need to add an arrow system, like 1, 2, or 3 arrows. So like, if something gives you recoil control, say a grip, a foregrip gives you 2 arrows up for recoil control, and then a rear grip only gives you 1 arrow up for recoil control. Just so it's not a guessing game of, does the rubberized grip give you more recoil control than the Merc foregrip, or this and that? Like, I said either do an arrow system or do a number system, which they went with a percent system, which is fine too. So, like, so it'll be like recoil control increased by 16% with the Merc, and it would only increase you recoil control by 8% with the rubberized grip, something like that. That's what I was basically saying, which they showed that in the Cold War gameplay today. This is gonna get uploaded tomorrow, I think. That was like one of the longest explanations in the last video because I felt like I had to fully break that down, but now that probably everyone has seen the Cold War gameplay, that I don't really have to go in depth with that. It's probably too late to add this to Modern Warfare, but they should definitely think about doing it in Cold War. I don't know if they already did or not, because I didn't get to watch the entire stream. But I think they need to add a firing range, since they're doing this whole gunsmith thing now, and it's not just 2 attachments on your gun. They had a firing range in a couple different Call of Duties. But, so like if I'm putting, once again, if I'm trying to bounce between scopes, or bounce between 2 different grips, there needs to be a little firing range button at the bottom of the screen in Create-A-Class, so I can go into a little shooting range. Like, literally one of the Call of Duties have it, I can't think of which one, but you would just click a button and it would load you in like within 30 seconds, and you can try out that class. They just need to add that again, especially because they're doing all this gunsmith shit now, and everything's so articulate and percentages, and everyone wants the right attachments, so you won't have to boot up a private match or search up a Warzone game to try to figure out if you like it or not. Obviously, you're probably going to have to actually use it to figure out if you like it, but if you're trying to just see some recoil patterns, or just test something out, it'll be so much easier if they just had a firing range. Let's see what's next. Sorry, I keep looking down at my wrist while I'm playing. The next part was for the store. So, they put out bundles, and sometimes the bundles are like 2,400, and most of the time, at least me and my friends, we only want maybe 1 or 2 things out of that bundle, and we're not about to spend fucking $20 on a bundle just to get a weapon skin or a tracer pack. Like, I really wanted tracers for my Bruin when I first started using it. Way back when it fucking came out, before anyone else started using the Bruin. Had to get that off my chest. Way before anyone started using the Bruin, I wanted tracers or at least dismemberment. And what do you know? Everyone and their mother starts using the Bruin, it becomes the meta, everyone has a Bruin class, they drop a dismemberment and a tracer round pack for it, and I'm like, cool, I don't even fucking win anymore because everybody uses the gun. But it was once again, it was a $20 pack. I think you should be able to separate individual items. So if the pack's like 2,400, like if you want just the gun out of the pack, it should be like 800. Like, obviously they're not going to make it too cheap, because then people are just going to get all the individual items, so you're going to got to bargain with them a little bit. So if it's like a 2,400 pack, make the items like 800 individually, but the catch is you can only get 2 individual items out of a pack. You can't just buy like half the pack for half the price. I mean, I guess that makes sense now that I said it out loud. But like, you can only pick 1 or 2 items that you can get individually for 1,600 for 2, or just 800 for 1. If the pack is only like 1,200 COD points or whatever, maybe make the individual items 400 or 600. Just so like, I mean, they might be losing money, but in the long run it might get them more money, because there's probably so many tracer packs and so many guns I would have got if I could have gotten them individually. But I didn't want to spend $15, $20 just for one thing, so I ended up not getting it. So they might end up making more if they do that. They probably might not even do something like that, but it'd be really cool if they did. I'm trying to think of anything else right now. Let me see. I think that might be it. I'm probably forgetting a couple things that I put in the last video. But, yeah, because the last video, it was like a total of 34 minutes, but I split it into 2 episodes, and I was going to make a part 1 and a part 2. And so this is 18 minutes right now. This might even get split into 2 episodes, just so it's not an 18-minute video, because someone might not want to watch that much. Or I might just chop it up a little bit and make it shorter. And if I think of more things, or if I want to give my opinion on more things, or if this video does good or people like it, I might make a part 2 if I can come up with some more stuff. But just, this is how I'm feeling like right now with Modern Warfare about to come to an end and Cold War taking over. I think they need to make those small adjustments to Modern Warfare for next season. I think that'd be really good for them to do that instead of waiting for Cold War. If we have to wait till Cold War, I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. But I feel like the small stuff like that, like the stuff on the side of the screen that I was in at the beginning, the loot bouncing off of each other, fixing the heartbeat glitch. If no one knows what I'm talking about, I was going to put a clip at the end of this, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But it's basically when you hold LB, or whatever you use for your equipment, your screen freezes for like a solid probably 6 to 10 seconds sometimes. And it's gotten me killed like more than times than you probably think. Like, I have fallen off the roof, because for whatever reason, when you pull it out, even if you let go of your controller, your guy will continue doing the motion that you were doing. So if you had your stick held up, your guy's going to walk right off a ledge if you're by one. If you were about to lay down, your guy would just stay crouched. And like, there's been so many times where it'll happen and I go down and die, or I fall off a roof. But that's the heartbeat glitch that they need to fix. I went over the gulag, I went over the plates, how instead of using a whole plate for 75%, it should just carry over. Self-revive, 5,000 damage per shot with pistols, nerf the melee nerf for pistols. Yeah, I think that's about it. This ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be again. I was trying to do it fast, but I got caught up in trying to add more stuff to it now that I recorded the other thing like a week ago, and I watched Cold War. I'm trying to think of more stuff, plus I was in the middle of... I was trying not to focus on playing, I was trying to focus more on talking, but it just ended up happening that I was focusing, melting people on shipment. But, yeah, I think that covered everything.